everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the QueenAShakur TV show and also to the Authentic Black Goddess TV. I'm your host, QueenAShakur, and this is the first dose of your daily vitamin. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time Queen Goddess goes live. All right? I am so sorry for taking so long, beloveds. Okay, hello, Hot Coco, Rashid, The Conscious Room, Brianna, Sonia, Allie, Neon Black, Flow Records, William. All right, let's get ready to get into it. Melanated Brown, Filma Bell, Kathy B, 450 Club, Joe. Okay, William, I see you. Oyela, Rod, Robin, Just Biz, Creative Vibes, Silent D is Black, Philip, Tracy, Terry, Bryce, Judah Queen is in the house. Don't need a man. Stop telling me I do. That name is too long, beloved. I'm going to start calling you Don't Need. All right. Cherokee to Senate Dale, Odd Negroes Official, Antoinette, Desmond is in the house. Let's get into it, Ayon. Shout out to Cherie. All right. Shout out to everyone in the chat and everyone tuned into the Queen. I see you, Monica. Forever a King is in the house. Big Zilla. All right, Terry. I see you. Now let's get it popping, people, because I have a whole nother live to do after this one. Emperor Rex and Dan. Okay, we got a lot of people in here. So let's talk about Ukraine. Y'all, when I told you all yesterday that Putin is not playing no games, well, actually he is. He is playing games. He's clearly playing chess, okay? As I have told you all. And the U.S. and the Ukraine, well, sadly, they're playing checkers. And so it's getting pretty bad. You know, they're preparing to descend upon the Capitol and all of this, if they haven't already. I'm going to show you all a brief clip. And Zelensky has accused Putin of attacking kindergartners. It's true. And not only that, they say that they're so desperate over there in Ukraine that, in fact, the military and the police are issuing weapons to civilians. Now, can you imagine, if you will, sitting at home in your own house, minding your own business, and there comes a knock on the door and they're handing you weapons and ammunition, telling you you need to come out and fight too? It's getting crucial. It is getting crucial. So a battle is underway for control of Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. Ukraine's president confirms that Russian forces are advancing on the capital, adding that the fate of Ukraine is being decided right now. Now, Russia's assault on Ukraine began Thursday and quickly spread across the country as Russian forces attacked from three sides by land, sea, and air. The U.S. is supposed to join the EU and the U.K. in directly sanctioning Russian President Vladimir Putin and the Russian foreign minister. This is what the White House has said. Now, the Biden administration on Friday announced sanctions against more Russian officials beyond President Putin and Minister of Foreign Affairs Sergei Lavrov. Now, the officials, members of Russia's National Security Council, include Russia's Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and Chief of General Staff of the Russian Armed Forces Valery Gerasimov. According to U.S. Treasury Department statements. Now, they say Treasury has previously designated 11 members of the Russian Security Council and will continue to impose costs on the ruling elites as Russia prosecutes this brutal war of choice. That's what the statement read. Now, the White House had announced earlier on Friday plans to impose sanctions on Putin, making him the highest profile target in the effort to impose costs on Russian economy and Putin's inner circle. Well, you know, I was thinking that Biden needs to just mind his own business and worry about what's going on here in the divided snakes. But apparently he's not going to do that, because the word on the streets is that Biden, Hillary, and Bill Clinton had some shady dealings going on with Ukraine. Now, I can't substantiate these claims, but that's what's been going around, okay? Said they had some shady dealings going on with them. So, of course, he's going to be, you know, helping them out as best he can, I would imagine. Now, the Ukrainian president, Vladimir Zelensky, gave a late-night message on Friday outlining the situation in his country as Russian forces continue to advance on the capital city of Kyiv. Now, they say he said tonight is going to make or break. It's going to be a make or break moment for Ukraine. He said this night will be very difficult, and the enemy will use all available forces to break the resistance of the Ukrainians. Now, Zelensky also said the fate of Ukraine is being decided right now. He accused the Russians of attacking kindergartners. He said there is nothing that could possibly explain why the kindergartens and civilian infrastructure are being shelled. He also said our main goal is to finish this slaughter. The enemy's losses are very grave. Today, there were hundreds of killed soldiers who crossed our border and came onto our land. This is what Zelensky said. He also added, unfortunately, we also suffer losses. So they killed some of Putin's men that came across the border. Okay. And so they have a map of Eastern Europe that shows the increased road traffic along Ukraine's western border. And amid the invasion from Russia, Ukrainians are seeking refuge in neighboring nations. Moldova, Belarus, and Georgia don't require visas for Ukrainian passport holders, and many other countries in the region don't require a visa for at least 30 days. So I'm going to show you all this video in just a moment. Let me get this queued up real quick. Everyone, please like and share. Please like and share, subscribe to the channels if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bells and click the word all. Thank you in advance. Rira Nutara, thank you for your contribution to the channel, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings to you. Annabelle says, hopefully Scamala in her Chuck Taylors can make it to the button before Putin does. Where has she been? Oh, honey, I'm glad you asked. I do believe that she's hiding somewhere in a bunker, okay? Never to be seen or heard from until it's all over and done with. That's very likely. Thank you, beloved, for your insight and your question and your contribution. Peace, love, and blessings to you. Okay, so let me pull this up.
Tuesday,
my fellow Americans,
President Joe Biden, his first State of the Union address. Anderson Cooper and Jake Tapper host. Special live coverage starts Tuesday at 8 on CNN.
We made the journey earlier on today, and it was interesting to see along the roads, basically pretty clear access, but we did pass a Ukrainian military convoy that appeared to have been targeted by the air. You can see the video now there, still smoke billowing. There were firefighters on the scene trying to put out the fires. I think one of the trucks was probably a fuel truck, but the one in front was a multi-rocket launcher. And what's interesting about this is it's showing that the Russians are now sort of striking targets opportunistically as and when they can. We did see at least one Ukrainian soldier who was obviously killed in that attack. And it really goes to show you just how difficult this is for the Ukrainians with no air defense to move weaponry around effectively without being targeted. And obviously their ability to do that is being significantly diminished. We also saw, as we got closer to the city, a large group of civil defense volunteers, dozens of them standing there on the highway with a huge pile of tires. And one can only assume that the intention is, if and when Russian forces start to move along that road towards the capital, that they will attempt to block that by setting fire to those tires. But obviously, burning tires and civil defense volunteers is not really a match for the sophistication of the Russian military. We know that they're already at an air base just on the outskirts of Kyiv that my colleague Matthew Chance went and visited yesterday. Russian troops were already there. And there is a sense that even though they are facing quite a bit of resistance from the Ukrainian military, that they are pressing in from multiple directions. Keep in mind, it goes without saying, this is a city of nearly 3 million people, Dana. So obviously, absolutely terrifying for people here as they wait to see what tonight will bring.
I'm sorry. I had my mic off. I'm going to live coverage on NBC. Okay. So everyone, please get the lights up. Thank you.
Economy took a hit. But also, I think Vladimir Putin has been trying to figure out how to sanctions-proof his economy. And one of the things he's done is drawn much closer to China. So one of the ways in which Russia is going to try to absorb the sanctions that were imposed the other day or yesterday by President Biden is by deepening its relationship with China. I'll give you one example. We are preventing the export of certain vital technologies into Russia for its high-tech industry, for its military industrial complex. They're going to start to turn to China as the exclusive supplier of those types of technologies. So these sanctions are going to hurt the Russian economy. They are also going to drive Russia and China even closer together.
Now, thousands of Russians have taken to the streets in protest of this war. Do you think that Putin may have underestimated Ukrainian opposition here and also opposition potentially within his own country? And what do you think, if anything, that means for the trajectory of this fighting?
Yes, I think this is his gravest miscalculation in both scores. In Ukraine, I think he thought that they would be intimidated, that they might surrender, that the government might flee. And I don't think he counted on the fact that they have a president in Ukraine who clearly is going to stay to the bitter end and resist, that you have ordinary people taking up arms to fight against Russians, that this is going to be a much, much more costly endeavor, both in terms of loss of life and economically for Russia than Putin might have envisioned at the outset. I think also within Russia, what you have to understand is Crimea, for instance, was a much simpler military operation. This is an isolated geographic enclave, a peninsula that is a majority ethnic Russian area. There was not resistance to what Russia did in Crimea. That is not true of the rest of the country of Ukraine, which is an enormous country of 44 million people. And I think he undervalued that. And also, many Russians have family in Ukraine. They do feel a kinship with the Ukrainian people. They do feel they're all ethnic Slavs. The Russian people are not going to like to see images of mass civilian casualties. They're not going to like to see, obviously, Russian sons and fathers and brothers coming home in body bags here. And so the type of unrest we've seen, the protests we've seen, which is truly extraordinary, I think is indicative of a broader unease against the Russian public. And one thing to watch is if this war continues to escalate, do those protests continue? Does that unrest begin to grow and pose a danger, not in the immediate term, but in the medium and longer term to Vladimir Putin?
And as this war continues to escalate, Ben, what many people are watching right now is when Kyiv might fall. When do you think that could happen? And if it does happen, as it is expected by many observers in the coming days, what does that look like? What's next?
Well, I think what could be challenging here, and look, we've experienced this in the United States, right? We conquered Iraq with relative ease.
Okay, that's enough of that. So we already know it's going down, all right? It's clearly going down. Now, I think that Putin possibly, like they said, I don't think that Putin expected that his own people would be protesting this war. But I want you all to pay attention because they have come out and said that there's likely going to be a cyber attack from Russia. Do you all remember what I've been telling you for months? Who remembers what I've been telling you for months about Russia, China, the United States, and a cyber attack? Does anybody remember what I've been telling you guys? I'm just curious. Let's see who's been paying attention. I have been telling you all for at least 3 months about a cyber attack. Desmond says yes. Allie's raising her hand. Beatzilla says yes. I have been telling you guys that the U.S. is going to perpetuate a cyber attack. And they're going to blame it on either Russia or China. I started telling you all that like 3 or 4 months ago. Y'all remember? I told you. Kathy B said, you have Queen. Judah Queen says, yeah. Okay? I told you all. The U.S. is going to do that. That's what I told you. And they're going to blame it on either Russia or China. Well, looks like they're saying Russia's going to do it. So let's not be so hasty to believe what they say. Okay, because we already know some lies that the government has told us before. Forever King says yes. Della says yes. So does Terry. Thank you, beloved. I'm glad you all have good memories. Now let's move on because I have a lot to cover before we get to this next live, honey, about Kodak Black with his shady self-hating self. We're going to talk about him. But listen to this. Let's talk about Biden nominating his mammy, Judge Ketanji Brown. Yes. Yes, she's been chosen for the Supreme Court. He introduced his historic choice at a White House ceremony today. Okay, so let's go to the footage. Before I do that, let's talk about it for a quick second. President Biden on Friday nominated Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson for the U.S. Supreme Court, elevating an African-American woman for the first time to a seat on the high court bench. Now, at a former White House ceremony Friday afternoon, Biden said, "It is my honor to introduce to the country a daughter of former public school teachers, a proven consensus builder, an accomplished lawyer, a distinguished jurist, one of the most on the nation's most prestigious courts. For too long, our courts haven't looked like America. And I believe it is time that we have a court that reflects the full talents and greatness of our nation with a nominee of extraordinary qualifications." Well, that's all fine and dandy, but the only thing that he left off of her qualification list is that she's the whole plantation mammy. Please give her all of her credit and accolades that she is clearly deserving of, Biden. All right, now let me show the footage. Y'all get ready for this symbolic gesture that's not going to help us one bit. All right, likes up, everyone. Please like and share.
From a background like mine could find herself in this position.
Okay, I don't need a history lesson from her. Janet says USA borrows money from China to give to Ukraine, who gets natural gas from Russia. Why can't Europeans, Great Britain, France, Spain, and the rest of them fight their own people? Honey, I know one thing. The U.S. needs to mind their own business. That's what they need to do. Well, so there you all have it. Your plantation mammy to be, right? Congratulations for those of you who voted for Sloppy Joe and Commando Kabami Harris. Okay, so now listen to this. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Okay? I want to know what y'all think about this. So here's the deal. A Columbia University professor or psychiatry head is suspended. And because here's what he said about a black model, a Sudanese model. He said, whether a work of art or a freak of nature, she's a beautiful sight to behold. This is what Jeffrey Lieberman said in a tweet about Nayakim Gatswick, who is of South Sudanese descent. Now, first and foremost, if you all are offended by what he said, Deborah said, "Who isn't a plantation mammy in your eyes, Queen? Hold on. I'm glad you asked, Debatron. You said, who isn't? I'm not. That's it. I'm not. Anything else? Because if you're trying to be cute, honey, here's the thing. You don't have to be on here when I'm talking about plantation mammies or anything else. Okay, yes, I said she's a plantation mammy, as are many of these politicians who are black. Plantation mammies and Sammys. Now, if you don't agree, that's your business. You can absolutely do so. But don't try to be sarcastic. I said she's a plantation mammy, and that's what I'm going to continue to say. All right? Anyone who is spewing rhetoric for the wannabe supremacist, who is married to a zaddy, and who clearly does not have the best interests of black people in mind is a plantation mammy or pappy, if they are black, okay? Anything else you'd like to know? Now, don't disturb me again or I'll have you banished from the Queendom, honey, because I don't have time for you trolls today, okay? I just told you I have a lot to cover. Don't make me go off, because I'm in a mood. Let me continue. Who isn't a plantation mammy to me? You obviously are one, or you wouldn't be mad. And if you were not a plantation mammy yourself, you would know and recognize one when you see them. So you would be in agreement with the queen. But since you are not, that tells me that you're clearly a plantation mammy. All right? Anyway, moderators, watch out if she says anything else shady. Please take care of her and get her out of my chat. I don't have time today. I clearly don't. Now back to what I was saying. Back to what the queen was saying. If anyone is offended by what this man said, you all put ones in the chat if you are, two if you're not. Now, I'm going to repeat what he said about this model again. He tweeted and said, whether a work of art or a freak of nature, she's a beautiful sight to behold. And I'm going to show you her picture. She absolutely is a beautiful sight to behold, honey. She is drenched in the most beautiful melanin that anyone could see. Okay, here we go. There she is, a lovely lady. I think there's another picture of her. That's her right there. I know you probably can't see that. Let me see if I can zoom in. And that's her along with his tweets. And so they basically, Dr. Jeffrey A. Lieberman, who's Caucasian, he said that he made that comment on a Twitter post and they have suspended him. Okay, hold on. Judah Quinn said, I've seen her before. Sister's beautiful. Yes, she absolutely is. Okay, Cherokee the Citadel said he's not offended. Okay, a lot of ones in the chat. So a lot of people are offended. Well, I guess they were at the school because he's been suspended. Now, he says that that was a compliment. Hold on. They were upset because he said he compared her to being a freak of nature. Okay. Let me see. Let me go back to where I was. Okay, so he was suspended Wednesday as psychiatry department chair at Columbia's Gallegos College of Physicians and Surgeons, and also removed as psychiatrist in chief at Columbia University Irving Medical Center, New York Presbyterian Hospital as well, according to an email sent to Columbia faculty and staff, which was shared with NBC News. Some people are saying too, so I'm going to tell you like this. I am not offended. Yes, she is beautiful, forever king. I am not offended by what he said, not in the least, because I have heard people tell someone that. I've heard people say, some people have never heard that phrase, oh, you're a freak of nature. They don't mean that you're a freak, that you are out here being promiscuous and being a freak, or that you look like a freak because you look weird. That's not what that means. When someone says that you're a freak of nature, what was said by freak of nature, he was trying to imply that she was unique. Thank you, beloved. Woke one gets it. Those critical thinking skills have clearly come into play, beloved. But yes, when someone calls you a freak of nature, and of course, he even said she was beautiful. He said, whether a work of art. Now, if someone told me, honey, that I was a work of art, which clearly I am, not to toot my own horn, but, and all of you are as well. But with that all being said, except for the trolls. But anyway, if someone calls you a work of art, that is clearly a compliment, okay? Art is usually expensive and beautiful and, prestigious and all those things, right? And many people that are wealthy collect fine art. So that is absolutely a compliment. Yes, Ray Love says it's a compliment. And if someone calls you a freak of nature, that just means, like Wokeman said, you're unique. That this is something or someone that you don't see every day. And you definitely don't see someone with all of that beautiful melanin, right? That clearly has not been mixed with anything. You usually don't see that. That's how dark we're all supposed to be. I do believe we're all supposed to be that dark, honey. But through slavery of the foundation of Black Americans and things like that. Well, as you can see, we've become a little bit lighter. Okay, so anyway, they suspended the man for that. And clearly he was just, but what I really think? I'm going to tell y'all like this. Just to keep it real with you, I don't think that they suspended him because they thought there was an insult. Because just like those people on the board that suspended him, they know that that's a compliment. You know what I think? I think they really suspended him because he's not the racist. They are. I think they're mad because he gave that beautiful Black woman drenched in the most salacious, beautiful melanin. I think that they are mad because he did so, and that's why they suspended him to make him keep his mouth shut. Just like the time I told you all about the video that went viral, where the white woman gave her Black daughter-in-law a gift of Black pearls for Christmas. Remember back in December? And she said, you are just like a Black pearl. You're beautiful and you're unique. And you're my black pearl. And, people on Twitter, and it was the Caucasians on Twitter, and they were just going in and trying to make black people think that she was being negative because she called her a black pearl. Honey, black pearls are absolutely beautiful. Those are the best pearls to have, and they are so unique and very expensive. So if someone gives you a gift of a string of black pearls and then tells you that you remind them of black pearls, honey, how could you ever be offended? Okay? I'm just saying. So with that all being said, clearly that was a compliment and a very kind one as far as I'm concerned. Okay? And he had no shame in his game because he posted it publicly on Twitter. I think that's another thing that bothered them. Okay? The rest of the folks that look like him, yeah, they were upset. And I can guarantee you that Becky, Kate, Karen, and Heather were probably on the Twitter post saying, what about us? What about the white women? Isn't that what they always say? When anybody says that black women are beautiful, don't they always say that? So that's clearly why they were mad, honey. I don't care what they say. But so anyway, they go on to say that he was slammed for his comments and they were called straight up racism. Now, I want y'all to pay attention because they want to cancel him, but not Joe Rogan, who likened black people to apes. They want to cancel this man and suspend him, but not Joe Rogan. Wow. Y'all see where this country is headed? I hope y'all are paying attention. So anyway, they said coming from somebody with so much power, that was so disappointing. That's what Karen said, no less. So anyway, let me continue on to the next story. Okay, now listen to this, beloveds. So do you all remember hearing about the Walmarts that were catching fire? So they've caught the assailants, and it's a gang. They call them a group of arsonists, but no, they're a gang. You see, if they were black people, they would not call them a group. They never call black people a group. They always call us gangs, right? Yeah. So these are a gang. They're a gang of arsonists. They were arrested for a series of fires in Walmart stores. And do y'all know why they set these Walmart stores on fire? Anyone care to venture a guess? They set the Walmart stores on fire in retaliation and to protest minimum wage. That's what they did. But they want to act like we're so nefarious and going out here committing all the crimes. You see how they don't do things peacefully? They want to act like we're out here protesting and destroying things because we're mad because someone died, someone was murdered. But they're out here destroying things because they don't like the amount of money they're getting paid because they're being paid minimum wage. Well, here's a clue. If you don't want to make and earn minimum wage, how about you get a trade skill or go to college so you can make more? That's all I'm saying. If you're not happy, don't go burning down Walmart, please. So anyway, it says the group of five, the gang of five, allegedly wrote a Walmart manifesto. I mean, they were serious. They were like whole mass killers with this. They wrote a whole manifesto that asked the American retailer to increase its hourly wage and to cap CEO earnings. Now, they appeared in court on Thursday for an arraignment. The group of arsonists are the gang of arsonists who allegedly set fire to Walmart stores over demands for higher minimum hourly wages. You have Jeffrey Sykes. Listen to their ages. I thought these fools would be like, anywhere between 18 to 25. Jeffrey Sykes is 40, aka Kenneth Allen. And then Sean Borcher is 37, aka Sean McFarland. They have all these aliases. And then Michael Bortoff, 21, Quentin Olson, 21, and Alexander Olson, 23. They were identified in an indictment on Wednesday, and it detailed how all five defendants referred to themselves as the Veterans Order in an email and phone communications with the newspaper last year as extremism researchers. Or this is what the extremism researcher Seamus Hughes found. Honey, I knew they were white when they called themselves the Veterans Order. Because the first article that I had about them, it didn't show any of their pictures or anything. And I said, well, they're not showing their pictures. They must be white because they would clearly show their pictures if they were black. And then when I saw they called themselves Veterans Order, I said, oh, yes, definitely. Definitely they're whites, okay? But anyway, here's one of them in action. I guess he was scoping out the place so he could go ahead and set it ablaze to get those coins that he so desperately needed. And you know, the stupid thing is you went and did all of this to get minimum wage earnings up. And now you're going to be making less than that in a cold draft cell in prison for years. I guess he's the ringleader right there. And so, all so nefarious people. Overthought said veterans, so they can go to school for free, or that's just the name. You all are too much. Anyway, beloveds. Hold on. What time does my next live start? I might be late. I think I have like 4 minutes. Hold on. Let me see if there's anything else I need to tell you all real quick. Okay, yeah. So that's it. I'll save the rest for later. All right. So let me read a few of these comments before I roll out of here. Judah Queen said, melanated vets don't do this. Honey, they're no vets. That's just what they call themselves, honey. They're a hot mess. Okay, Sally B says, is he the ringleader or the whole circus with that big round ace? Big Chef says, when Joseph Biden hears about this, he is going to really regret passing out crack pipes. Oh, my goodness. You did not go there. And speaking of crack pipes, you know, I saw a video because remember how I told you guys that they play semantics with words, you know, to play tricks and all that stuff. And they said Jen Psaki, the White House press secretary, got up there and said, oh, we never said we were giving out crack pipes. Well, no, you didn't specifically say that, I guess. I could have sworn you did, Jen Psaki. I could have sworn y'all did. But if you say you didn't, okay, I'll just take your word for it. But what you did say is that you're going to give out those smoking kits, which clearly have crack pipes in them. So please miss me with it, right? That's all so crazy. You know what that's akin to? That's akin to someone giving you an empty ice tray, right? And then you say, where's the ice? Oh, I didn't say I was going to give you ice. I just said I was going to give you an ice tray. Of course, you would think that there's going to be ice in the ice tray. I mean, that's just about as dumb as that. So they need to miss us with it. Janet says there's a meth pipe in that bag too. Equal opportunity. Yes, I saw it. There's also a needle for those on opioids. It's also nefarious. Here's the thing. They claim that Biden spent anywhere from $60 million for these smoke kits or whatever. My thing is, rather than spending $60 million on the smoke kits and stuff, why didn't they take that to get people off of drugs, to fight, you know, the war on drugs? But they don't want to have a war on drugs because guess what? The people that they would be fighting would be their own, because they had no problem fighting the war on drugs when it was a whole crack epidemic, right? I mean, I'm going to tell them what Nancy Reagan always said. Just say no. All right? Just say no. That's all. Shoshana said meth pipes and needles too. Yes. Overthought said, man, where's my refund? Giving out crack pipes and shite. Right. Anyway, with that all being said, with that all being said, everyone keep your head on the swivel. Didn't know what y'all say. Seriously, folks. Lee said, indeed, Queen. Listen, seriously, you all make sure you like and share this video. Subscribe to the channels if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. And then, hold on. Deep Diver says, hold on, I got to read this. Creepy Sniffer Joe pinched a turd on CNN. OMG, his face. What? Please don't tell me that the president did that. Please tell me you're joking. B-Cell said, notice they aren't passing out blunts. I know, right? I know. What about the rest of us? That's what some of y'all out there saying, right? Where is mine? Roland Martin said, it's no crack pipes. Of course he's going to say that. He goes along with everything the Democrats tell him to go along with. I mean, y'all saw him on stage tap dancing with Hillary. What else should we expect? Right? Anyway, with that all being said, GL has a good question. How is it a smoke kit with needles? Well, that's a very good question, beloved. Very good question. Everyone, please like and share. Follow me on Instagram at QueenAShakur. Don't forget to follow the QueenAShakur fan page. And you can follow me on Twitter at DGoddess27. And I hope to see you all at the next chat starting right now on the original Queen Shakur show. Peace.